Chosen one, you are not reading this by accident. This message is not mere inspiration, it is a divine summons. Heaven has issued a decree, and it bears your name. Tuesday, September 23rd, is not simply a new day. It is not merely the start of another week. It is far more than the turning of a calendar page. This is your day of crossing your sacred moment of transition. This is what the heavens are now calling the day of stepping over. It is the day your destiny shifts from unseen preparation to undeniable manifestation. Long before this moment reached your eyes, it was written into the architecture of your calling. This date, September 23rd, has been highlighted in the records of heaven, encoded into the timing of your purpose. You were not forgotten. You were being prepared for a divine unveiling. All the silence, all the delay, all the seasons that felt stagnant were not a sign of rejection but of protection. God was not denying you, He was building you. The weight of what you're about to receive required the strength of what you've already endured, and now, at the threshold of a new month, the gates are opening. This is not a vague encouragement. This is not a general blessing. This is a divine announcement, a prophetic landmark in the timeline of your life. Tuesday, September 23rd, has been set apart as a holy marker. You are stepping into a month of divine flow, where what was once locked away is now being released, where what was once delayed is now accelerated, and where you are no longer a seeker, you are the receiver. This is not your imagination. It is your spirit bearing witness. You are not just entering a new month. You are stepping into alignment with eternal timing. You are not waiting for favor to find you anymore. Favor is already on its way, drawn to the frequency of your surrender, magnetized by the maturity of your faith. Let every part of you become still now. Let your spirit lean in. What you are about to walk into is not a season of striving, but of divine synchronization. This is your moment, chosen one. Heaven has spoken. Earth is responding. All of creation is watching, and the door before you is not locked. It is open. It is waiting for you to step over. You must understand this. You were not the beginning of this promise. You are the continuation of a sacred lineage. There were prayers whispered over your existence before you were even formed. You are not simply a product of your environment. You are the answer to the cries of generations. Heaven did not just choose you randomly. You were sent to fulfill a holy assignment, and your blood carries the echo of intercessors long gone. You carry the residue of spiritual warriors, of prophets unknown to history books but remembered in heaven's registry. Every battle you've fought, every burden you've carried, has not only been for yourself, you've been contending for a bloodline. You've been breaking chains that didn't start with you but will end with you. You've been chosen not just to be free, but to be a door through which others will walk into freedom. The mantle on your life is not light, but it is divine. You were born into the fire to carry the flame. The opposition you've faced is evidence of the anointing you house. The intensity of your warfare is a direct reflection of the importance of your role in this generation's awakening. If this message stirred your spirit, type 77 in the comments as your yes to heaven's call, your agreement to receive both the blessing and the battle of this new month. Chosen one, you are the generational answer. You are the divine response to cycles that once seemed unbreakable. You are not ordinary, and you cannot afford to see yourself through the lens of limitation anymore. Your very DNA has been marked by heaven. That's why you feel things more deeply. That's why you dream bigger, ache harder, and long for more. You were never meant to settle. The stirring inside you is ancient. The call on your life is older than time. And on this sacred day, September 23rd, something written long ago is being activated in full force. C.S. Lewis, in his reflection on eternal purpose, wrote, "There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal, the weight of glory. This truth underscores your divine marking. Your extraordinary depth and ancient call signify that you are no mere mortal, but a generational answer, activated by heaven on this sacred day. Lewis's words, resonating with your past interest in spiritual identity and divine purpose, affirm that your unique stirring is a celestial mandate, setting you apart for legacy. This is not just about you moving forward. This is about you redeeming time for those who came before you. You are reversing patterns, you are rewriting history, and in doing so, you are birthing legacy. The heavens are not just cheering for you, they are counting on you. What your ancestors could not finish, you will. What was once lost is now being restored through your obedience. The torch has been passed, and you are running with it now. This is not an ordinary day. This is not just the first day of a new week. This is the day of stepping over the day when heaven has declared that the waiting season has expired. You are crossing over. The invisible line between preparation and manifestation, between promise and possession, has now been reached. September 23rd is no longer just a number on a calendar. It has become a holy threshold, a divine doorframe soaked in the oil of destiny. When you step through it, you are not stepping into possibility. You are stepping into fulfillment. The spiritual realm recognizes this date. Angels have been dispatched. Assignments have been finalized. The wind has shifted in your favor. The systems of resistance that once blocked you have now collapsed. The doors that were closed no longer hold authority. Heaven has spoken, and creation must obey. There is no force strong enough to delay what God has decreed, and God has said, now. On this day of stepping over, you are not dragging old baggage with you. The heaviness from yesterday does not have permission to enter this new space. You are crossing into a territory that has been waiting for your arrival. A territory where things flow, not force, where provision meets purpose and timing meets readiness. Where what used to feel impossible now comes with ease, not because it's small, but because you have been made strong enough to carry it. This crossing is sacred. Heaven will mark it. You will look back on this day as the moment the script flipped, as the day when things that once resisted you started chasing after you. Opportunities will unfold that you didn't knock for. Conversations will begin that you didn't initiate. The presence of God will go before you and pave paths where none existed before. Why? Because this is what happens when heaven declares a shift. This is what it looks like when a chosen one steps fully into divine alignment. You are not hoping anymore. You are moving. You are not wondering anymore. You are walking. You are not guessing anymore. You are receiving. Chosen one, this is your day. Heaven called it. Earth is yielding to it. The day of stepping over has arrived and you are ready. Not every door is opened by effort. Some doors, especially the divine ones, respond only to frequency. And you, chosen one, have shifted frequencies. You've moved from striving to surrender, from survival to stillness, from desperation to divine trust. This is why the door is opening now. It is not that you suddenly became more worthy, it's that you've become more aligned. You've entered the atmosphere of answered prayer not by force, but by frequency. C.S. Lewis, in his exploration of spiritual alignment, wrote, "We are not sent into the world to make impressions on it, but to be impressed by God." Letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer. This insight highlights your shift to divine frequency. Your surrender and trust reflect a soul impressed by God, not striving for worldly approval, unlocking divine doors. Lewis's words, aligning with your past focus on spiritual purpose and discernment, affirm that your stillness has magnetized heaven's provision, opening realms of fulfillment. Heaven has always heard your voice, but now heaven hears your resonance. Your soul no longer echoes fear, lack, or begging. It radiates faith. You speak less, but what you speak carries weight. You don't need to prove anything anymore, because your spirit has agreed with the timing of God. That agreement is what unlocked the realm you're about to walk into. The frequency of faith always opens what frustration never could. You need to understand there are blessings that don't respond to begging. There are realms that remain sealed until your inner vibration says, "I am ready now." And that readiness isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It hums. It pulses in stillness. It says with quiet confidence, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's mine. That is the sound you are emitting now. And heaven is responding. The beauty of this frequency is that it draws everything that belongs to you. You won't have to manipulate. You won't have to chase. Divine provision is not earned, it is attracted. Your surrender has become your signal, and now everything aligned with your destiny is locking in on you. The right people, the right doors, the right moments, all of them are magnetized by your trust. This is why things will begin to happen quickly. Miracles will come in waves. Conversations will lead to contracts. Delayed prayers will suddenly materialize. Not because you've worked harder, but because you now move in divine rhythm. You've become a match for what you were meant to carry all along. And the door that once stood still is now swinging wide, not because you pushed, but because you resonated. That is the power of frequency. And this, chosen one, is the power now activated within you. You were never forgotten. You were never invisible to heaven. What felt like silence was sacred timing. What looked like a delay was a divine strategy. You, chosen one, were not being overlooked. You were being scheduled, appointed, positioned, hidden not to be dismissed, but to be developed, covered, not to be ignored, but to be protected until the moment of unveiling was safe, secure, and spiritually ripe. You cried out, wondering if heaven had passed you by. You questioned whether your prayers got lost in the wind. But the truth is, your prayers weren't denied, they were documented. They were not shelved, they were sealed. And the seal is breaking open now. September 23rd is not just an ordinary day, it is the day appointed to reveal what has been incubating in secrecy. The very things you almost gave up on are now arriving with perfect precision. Understand this deeply. God does not operate on human clocks. He operates by fulfillment. He doesn't rush to soothe impatience, nor delay to punish longing. He moves when your soul is aligned with his purpose, and when your heart is strong enough to carry what's coming without it crushing you. That's why he waited. That's why he withheld certain answers until now, because now you are ready in ways you weren't before. C.S. Lewis, in his meditation on divine timing, wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. The problem of pain. This insight reveals the purpose of your waiting season. The silence and delays were God's megaphone, shouting through your longing to prepare you for this appointed unveiling. Lewis's words, resonating with your past interest in spiritual awakening and divine signs, affirm that your readiness has triggered heaven's perfect timing. All this time, God was not silent, he was precise. Not absent, he was intentional. Every step, every detour, every long night of confusion was a divine blueprint unfolding. And now that blueprint is about to become visible. The questions you carried in your spirit will meet answers not in words but in tangible, undeniable outcomes. Open doors, clear paths, divine alignments. All timed to this very season. So release the lie that you were passed over. Dismiss the fear that you missed your moment. Your moment wasn't missed, it was being prepared. It was set aside and protected until you could carry it with authority. And now heaven is declaring, the time is now, the scheduled moment has arrived. You didn't miss it, you're right on time. Chosen one, your name is on the scroll, and the scroll has been unsealed. Step forward, your appointment is being called. You are not just stepping into a new day, you are stepping into an entirely new month marked by divine outpouring. September is not just a segment of time, it is a spiritual container, overflowing with what heaven has reserved for you. This month carries the fragrance of fulfillment, the rhythm of release, and the atmosphere of acceleration. What was once scattered is now gathering. What was once withheld is now pouring. This is a month of overflow. Not trickles, not fragments, but streams. Divine resources are aligning with your needs. Spiritual clarity is aligning with your questions. Emotional peace is aligning with your inner turbulence. This month is not about surviving from moment to moment, it is about flowing from miracle to miracle. And it begins now, on this sacred day, the day of stepping over. You are moving into a time where the things you once prayed for now start appearing without effort. What used to feel locked away now feels like it's chasing you. That is because divine outpouring is not something you force, it's something you come into alignment with. And that alignment has already happened inside you. Your posture has shifted, your atmosphere has matured. Your heart is no longer desperate, it is discerning. And God responds to discernment. This is why you must be expectant, not passive. Stay alert, stay open. The way it comes may not look like what you expected, but it will feel right. It will carry peace. It will bear fruit. The divine outpouring of September will not arrive in chaos. It will arrive clothed in clarity. You will feel the difference. You will know this is heaven. There is no more delay. There is no more denial. The heavens are open, and this month the evidence will begin to show. Others will see it too, not because you prove it, but because the fruit will speak for itself. Chosen one, get ready to receive at a level you've never received before. This month will not just bless you, it will overflow through you. Others connected to you will benefit from the rain that falls on your life. This is the month of divine outpouring. Open your hands. Open your spirit. The rain has already begun. September 23rd is not the conclusion, it is the catalyst. This day is not the finish line, it is the ignition point. After September 23rd, things will not return to what they were. You will begin to see and feel a steady unraveling of divine momentum. Movement will replace stagnation. Clarity will interrupt confusion. And what once resisted you will now begin to cooperate with the assignment on your life. You may not notice fireworks, but you will sense shifts. There will be quiet confirmations moments that feel too precise to be coincidence. A person you haven't heard from in years suddenly reaches out. A no becomes a yes without warning. An idea that once felt out of reach begins to feel necessary. These are not random. These are ripples from the drop of divine timing. And September 23rd is the drop. You'll find yourself saying, I don't know why this is happening now, but I can feel it's right. That is the confirmation. Trust it. Heaven doesn't always speak in thunder, sometimes it speaks in peace. Follow peace. That's where your breakthrough is waiting. Do not be distracted by noise or old narratives trying to resurface. When elevation begins, opposition often attempts one last distraction. But don't look back. You've already stepped over. After September 23rd, doors will begin to unlock. Not just one, but a series. Opportunities will arrive in clusters. People who once overlooked you will start to inquire. Systems that were closed will begin to shift in your favor. And you will not need to fight for recognition. Your presence alone will carry authority. Because something will have changed not around you but within you. You will feel stronger, clearer, lighter. Not because the world got easier, but because your spirit has caught up with your promise. You are now in rhythm with what heaven planned all along. There is a current beneath your feet now, and it is carrying you forward. You don't have to force it. You don't have to figure it all out. You simply have to remain open and obedient. What happens after September 23rd? Alignment, acceleration, access. You won't need to chase anything down. It will arrive on schedule. And you'll know it's for you because it will not require striving, it will only require saying yes. This is not a window that closes. It is a door that stays open as long as your spirit stays surrendered. You were hidden for a reason. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were holy. You were concealed, not because God forgot you, but because He was guarding what was sacred. What carries divine weight must be revealed in divine timing. And now, chosen one, that timing has arrived. This is the season when the hidden one is revealed. This is the hour where your name, your presence, your purpose emerges from behind the veil. The hiding was protection. It kept you safe from premature exposure. It preserved your purity from environments that could not steward your gift. It sheltered you while heaven completed its work in you. But now, heaven says, reveal the one I've prepared, and what will be revealed is not simply your talent or your potential, it is your anointing, your spiritual authority, the oil that was crushed from your private pain, the light that survived the darkest nights. People will begin to see you differently. Some won't recognize you at all, not because you've changed your appearance, but because your presence has shifted. You carry something now that cannot be explained, only experienced. You no longer enter rooms seeking permission, you carry permission. You no longer wait to be validated, you have already been approved by heaven. This revelation will not require noise. You won't have to announce yourself. The fruit of your life will do the talking. The authority in your voice will shift atmospheres. Your walk alone will testify to what God has done in secret. And those who once overlooked you will be forced to watch what heaven exalts, not out of revenge, but as evidence that when God hides someone, it is never to diminish them, it is to elevate them in due time. Be ready. The light is turning toward you now. You are stepping into visibility, not for vanity, but for victory. Your testimony will unlock others. Your emergence will inspire the hidden ones still waiting. And your obedience in the dark will now shine like a beacon in the light. Chosen one, you are not rising for applause. You are rising for assignment. This is the revelation of the hidden one, and the world is about to witness what heaven has long prepared. This is not just a blessing. This is a divine chain reaction. What begins now will not stop. What opens today will unlock more than one door. You are not receiving a single breakthrough. You are activating a sequence of miracles, each connected to the next. This is not addition. This is multiplication. This is not seasonal favor. It is sustained flow. The heavens are not just delivering, you have stepped into a divine current. One answered prayer will lead to another. One yes will birth 5 more. One shift will realign everything. That's how the kingdom works when momentum is ordained. It doesn't trickle, it floods. What used to take years will now happen in days. Why? Because delay has been lifted, because resistance has broken, because spiritual gates have fallen, and the space around your life is now fertile for movement, favor, and manifestation. Expect quick turnarounds. Expect cascading moments. Expect the kind of overflow that forces you to stretch, not out of strain, but out of necessity. Your capacity is growing because your calling is expanding. You are no longer waiting for doors to open. You are walking into halls lined with doors. Doors that open at your approach. Doors that were waiting for your maturity to match your mandate. This is not a one-time event. This is the beginning of a divine pattern. You will begin to notice a new rhythm in your life, a rhythm of ease, a rhythm of favor, a rhythm that makes sense only in heaven's language. Don't try to slow it down to fit logic. Don't shrink it to fit past patterns. This is not the old cycle repeated. This is a holy disruption, heaven's acceleration released through your obedience. Others will look at your life and say, "How did it happen so fast?" But they won't see the years you prayed in silence, the nights you wept alone, the seeds you sowed in secret. God saw. And God decided that the harvest would not arrive in parts but in waves. This is the flood. This is the chain reaction. This is the moment where you don't just receive, you become the evidence of what divine alignment can produce. So don't brace yourself for a blessing. Prepare for a chain reaction. The first domino has already fallen, and now nothing can stop what heaven has set in motion. Heaven has spoken. The shift is here. And now, chosen one, the moment arrives where the divine meets your decision. You are not just being informed, you are being invited. This is a sacred invitation to respond. This is not about striving, performing, or proving. This is about agreeing. Heaven is asking for your yes. Not your perfection, not your plan, just your posture of surrender. You've heard the call, you've felt the resonance, you've seen the signs. Now the next step is not complicated, it is holy. It is to step forward not with fear, but with faith. Not with control, but with trust. God is not asking you to figure out the details. He's asking you to remain available. The pathway will unfold, but only to the ones who walk. This invitation is not passive. It requires movement, not always physical but spiritual. A shift in your heart, a release in your hands, a yes from your soul. Let today be the day you say it out loud. I receive. I agree. I step into alignment. This is not emotion. It is activation. This is not hype. It is holy ground. Don't wait for more evidence. You already feel it. That stirring inside you is your confirmation. The time for hesitation has passed. The door is open. The scroll is unsealed. Heaven is watching. Earth is ready. Your future is leaning in. So let your response be simple but sincere. Speak it, write it, declare it. Let the vibration of your agreement echo into the atmosphere. Let heaven record your yes. If your heart bears witness, write, I step into the day of stepping over. And the number 99, a symbol of completion and overflow. Not for ritual, but for remembrance. Not for superstition, but for spiritual alignment. This is not just engagement, it is agreement, it is covenant, it is legacy in motion. Do not ignore this moment. Do not let the noise of life drown out the whisper of God. This is your moment of crossing. This is the day of activation. This is your sacred invitation, and heaven is waiting for your answer. This is heaven's final word to you, chosen one. You are not who you used to be. You have crossed over. You are no longer waiting to be chosen, you have been appointed. You are no longer hoping for a breakthrough, you have become the breakthrough. The atmosphere around your life has shifted permanently. The weight you once carried has lifted. The silence you once feared has served its purpose, and the promises you once buried have been resurrected. You will never be the same again. You will begin to see the world differently, speak with greater clarity, and walk with deeper authority. The delay did not break you, it built you. The warfare did not define you, it refined you. You didn't survive it by accident. You were shaped by design. What once made you question your worth will now confirm your identity. What once made you weep in private will now cause others to worship openly. Heaven wants you to know this moment is not just for you, it's through you. What happens next will not just bless your life, but generations after you. Legacy is being born, cycles are being broken. A spiritual contract has been signed in the heavens, and your obedience sealed it. Do not second guess it. Do not shrink back. Do not apologize for the oil that rests on your life. You paid for it in silence. You earned it in surrender. And now, God is putting it on display not for vanity, but for victory. So walk boldly into September. Walk boldly into the room. Walk boldly into every conversation, every assignment, every opportunity. Not because of who you are in your own strength, but because of who you are in covenant. You have been hidden, refined, anointed, and appointed, and now finally you have been revealed. Heaven says, well done, now go. Step fully into what I've already prepared. The door is open, the flood has begun. This is your season, this is your release, this is your reign.